Breaking now. Princess Leonor de Borbon Ortiz wedding live from Denmark, King Felipe Emotional. The bells of Copenhagen echoed through the crisp morning air, their sound rolling softly over the city's rooftops. It was a familiar setting, a royal wedding, steeped in elegance and protocol. But what no one expected, what no one could have prepared for, was how deeply human this moment would feel. Because as Princess Leonor de Borbon Ortiz of Spain walked down the aisle of Christiansborg Palace, it wasn't just Spain watching. The entire world paused. And in the front row, King Felipe VI, her father, her protector, her greatest supporter, was visibly emotional. His eyes told a story words never could. It wasn't just another royal ceremony. It was a milestone, the moment Spain's future queen took her first step into a new life, in a foreign land, marrying the Danish prince who had quietly captured her heart. The crowd outside the palace stretched for miles. Danish and Spanish flags waved side by side. Even the air seemed to shimmer with anticipation. News outlets from London to Los Angeles were live streaming the event. But inside that cathedral-like space, there was a stillness, something sacred, delicate, almost fragile. As Leonor entered, the orchestra struck a gentle chord. The gown she wore was a masterpiece of symbolism, designed by a Spanish couturier but handcrafted with Danish lace, representing the union of two monarchies and two cultures. The light caught the fabric just right, it glowed with every step she took. The cameras zoomed in, capturing the emotion etched across King Philippe's face. This was not the stoic monarch of formal events. This was a father, watching his eldest daughter, his little girl, walk toward her destiny. Queen Letizia, regal yet clearly moved, placed her hand gently over his, steadying him as the world watched. But what made this day truly unforgettable wasn't the luxury or the headlines, it was the love story that had quietly blossomed behind palace walls. Rewind the clock. Their paths had first crossed during an official engagement years ago, a dinner between royal families in Madrid. Leonor was still young, poised but reserved. Prince Christian, charismatic and genuine, had offered her a smile that she later admitted, felt familiar. From that moment, their connection grew not through grand gestures, but through quiet conversations, shared duties, and mutual understanding. As the years passed, their bond deepened. When both turned 18, they began attending public events side by side, charity galas, cultural ceremonies, diplomatic meetings. The media speculated endlessly, but neither confirmed anything. They didn't need to. Every shared glance spoke volumes. And now, in 2025, that silent story had reached its grand culmination, the royal wedding of the decade. As Leonor reached the altar, Prince Christian turned. His expression, part pride, part disbelief, made it clear, this was the moment he'd been waiting for. When he took her hand, the world seemed to stop. The ceremony began, blending Spanish tradition with Danish ritual in perfect harmony. The vows were simple, heartfelt, and deeply moving. Leonor's voice trembled slightly as she began. I have known duty all my life. But today, I know love in its purest form. And it is love that gives duty its meaning. Christian followed, steady and sincere. From this day, I promise not to stand before you, but beside you. Not as a prince, but as your partner, in all things, through every sunrise and every storm. As they exchanged rings, a single tear escaped King Philippe's eye. He quickly brushed it away, but the cameras caught it, the defining image of the day. Social media erupted with captions, even kings cry. The choir filled the hall with music, voices rising to the vaulted ceilings, while outside, thousands of fans cheered as the couple sealed their vows with a kiss. In that moment, the noise of history itself seemed to swell. And yet, even amid the grandeur, the most touching moments were quiet. After the ceremony, as the royal procession made its way through the streets of Copenhagen, the couple's carriage paused unexpectedly. Leonor leaned out and waved directly to a group of Spanish students holding handmade signs that read, Nuestra Reina del Corazón, our Queen of Hearts. Her smile, radiant and unguarded, reminded everyone why she had become such a beloved figure in Spain. Later, during the state reception, the atmosphere shifted from solemn to celebratory. The grand ballroom of Amalienborg Palace gleamed under crystal chandeliers. Guests included monarchs, world leaders, and dignitaries, but even among them, the genuine warmth of the newlyweds stood out. When King Felipe rose to speak, the room fell silent. His voice was steady, but his eyes betrayed emotion. "Leonor," he said softly, "when I first held you in my arms, I did not think of crowns or duties. I thought of moments like this, where love and legacy walk hand in hand. You have made me proud, not just as your king, but as your father." He paused, collecting himself before continuing. "To Prince Christian, thank you for seeing in her what we have always seen, a strength that leads with kindness, and a heart that serves with grace. May your union remind the world that monarchy is not about power, but about people." The hall erupted in applause. Even Queen Margrethe, who had abdicated earlier that year, was seen wiping a tear from her eye. As the night continued, the couple's first dance captivated everyone. The orchestra began to play a modern symphonic version of "Can't Help Falling in Love." Leonor rested her head on Christian's shoulder, and for a brief moment, the weight of royal expectations seemed to fade. It was just two young people in love, surrounded by history, but writing their own story. The dance ended to thunderous applause, but the most intimate moment came after midnight. As the guests began to leave and the palace lights dimmed, Leonor and Christian slipped out to the balcony overlooking Copenhagen. The city was glowing, fireworks bursting over the harbor. From below, crowds cheered their names. Leonor turned to Christian and said quietly, "Do you hear that?" He nodded. "They're not cheering for titles, they're cheering for us." And in that single moment, you could feel the truth of it. By dawn, headlines across the world echoed the same sentiment: Spain and Denmark united in love. A father's tears, a daughter's triumph. Princess Leonor, the queen who cried with her country. Social media overflowed with clips of King Philippe's emotional reaction, fans calling it the most genuine royal moment in decades. Many compared it to his own wedding years before, noting how the circle of tradition had come full. For Spain, the wedding symbolized continuity, a bridge between old monarchy and modern leadership. For Denmark, it was a celebration of unity and future. And for the world, it was proof that love, when genuine, transcends borders, politics, and centuries of protocol. As the celebrations wound down, and dawn broke over Northern Europe, one image remained burned into memory: King Felipe, standing quietly at the edge of the ballroom, watching his daughter laugh freely with her new husband. A faint smile crossed his face. He looked both proud and at peace. In that silent moment, you could almost hear what he was thinking, that this blend of love, duty, and humanity, is what the crown was always meant to stand for. And as the bells of Copenhagen chimed once more, echoing through the morning sky, the message was clear: the royal future had arrived, and it had never looked more human, more hopeful, or more real.